Hi everybody, I'm back for another update on my eyes, my PRK surgery I had 1 year ago, like a year and a month pretty much. Hopefully I won't be as salty in this video as I was last time. I was pretty frustrated, and I hope I didn't turn too many people away from potentially getting, laser surgery on their eyes. The pros have really outweighed the cons, and a lot of the stuff I complained about last time have gotten better. And I think some of the complications I had were specific just to myself. So they might have sounded worse than they really were. I'm going to go over some of these. The blurriness I was having between, so a lot of my frustration came from them not really warning me of all these different things that would happen during the recovery process. I kind of had them happen to me, and then I needed answers, And every time I went for a checkup, I had to ask, well, why is this happening? Oh yeah, that's normal, well, why didn't you tell me that before, But you have to understand, it's not a regular doctor office visit, it's not a regular procedure, it's a money maker, it's a business, so they're gonna sell it, and the way to sell things is to not warn people about things if you don't have to, You don't want to scare people away, which is, it is what it is, I don't hold it against them, but just to let you know, you might have some more, even like small complications than what they warn you about initially. Doesn't mean you shouldn't get it done. It doesn't mean you're not gonna be completely happy afterwards, But anyway, I noticed during my recovery, at 3 months after, I was still having a long delay between looking at something close, like a book or my phone, like reading print, and then looking at something further away. It would take sometimes like 6, 7, 8 seconds for my eyes to focus, which doesn't sound like very long, but it's long. And I live in New York City, so if I'm, something happens with the subway and I need to look up really quick, like I need to see like what station I'm at, or see like what the crazy guy is doing at the end of the car, so that can be a little scary. And that gradually got better and better. I haven't noticed much change for the past probably like 5 months or so. So, somewhere around 6, 7 months it kind of stabilized. It's still not perfect, there's still a delay, but it's not much. Most of the time I don't really notice it. I notice it more the longer I'm staring at something close. If it's a long time, like if I'm, just stuck on Facebook or Instagram forever, and I look up and I'm like, whoa, like that was too long, But most of the time it's not too bad. And they even recommend that you should still keep reading and going through those different distances, because you got to retrain your eyes a little bit, Your eyes aren't used to having to do that. So that's gotten better, it's stabilized. I don't notice it most of the time. I notice it mostly like that situation I use as an example, like when I'm in a hurry, like something happens fast and like I need those fast reflexes and I don't have them like I normally would. But it's okay, it's not a big deal. I can't tell if I'm still sensitive to light or if I'm just like recognizing it more now. Like I probably always was sensitive to light. I think I spent my whole life squinting, because growing up wearing glasses your whole life, I didn't really ever wear sunglasses because it was just a pain in the butt. Like you had to get prescription sunglasses, or I don't know, those things that fold down over top, or the glasses that change, that fade in and out. Those, like, I see people coming in the building sometimes at work and their glasses are still tinted up for a while. I don't know, I don't want to deal with that either. So I think I spent most of my life squinting, as I get that permanent furrow in my brow. And also your eyes just feel tired, like, especially if you're outside most of the day. But when you come home, you're super tired, and it's mostly just this, it's just your eyes. You've just been squinting all day. Now that I can wear sunglasses, it's like regular sunglasses. I can shop for whatever sunglasses I want, be stylish. Ugh. I've been waiting my whole life for this. I wish I would have done that sooner, you know? It's so great. Just be able to put them on wherever you want. Driving. The glare off of cars, like coming towards you, used to drive me crazy. Like, I would get a headache sometimes driving, just all the glare from all the different cars. Even at night, sometimes, the glare would affect me. But in the sun now, I can put sunglasses on, especially like polarized sunglasses. I love them. Gets rid of all the glare. I can just feel like my face relax when I put them on and I'm driving. I'm just like, like this is how driving's supposed to be. It's supposed to be relaxing and calm, you know? So I wear the sunglasses, and I also found out that, you know, how bad the sun is for your eyes, you know? So you gotta protect them. I wish I would have been protecting them my whole life. You know, I would have worn dorky like flip over shades or shelled out the money for prescription sunglasses all the time. But, you know, it is what it is. From now on, I'm gonna wear sunglasses whenever possible. Even some days I notice it might look overcast, but it's still kind of sunny. Like the sun's affecting your eyes. Like I'm still kind of squinting when I'm driving and stuff. I just put sunglasses on, you know, I feel great. I was definitely sensitive to light after the surgery, and that lasted, you know, probably maybe it went away sometimes in like the first 3 to 6 months. You know, it got gradually better, and then it kind of stabilized, and now I think I might be a little more sensitive than the average person, but it's nothing crazy. Like, you know, if I go out for lunch and it's super sunny outside and I forgot my sunglasses, it's not the end of the world, but you know, I try not to look at things that have a big glare on them because it does affect me. Allergies. See, I told you a lot of this stuff is just my issues. I also have really strong allergy reactions, you know, to the seasons, to hay fever, stuff like that, ragweed. I get sinus infections and, you know, congestion, and it affects my eyes too. My eyes will get super itchy, they'll get tired faster. Sometimes it'll feel like my eyes are a little bit swollen, like bug-eyed, and it kind of affects my vision. It affects how long I can focus in and out, stuff like that. So I used to think it was just dryness caused by allergies. I have another thing going on, which might actually affect more people than we realize, because they haven't really studied it that much. And they don't really have that many things made to fix it. Where the oil is produced and secreted along your eyelid can get really irritated, it can get blocked up, and then it's like scratching your eye every time you blink. You know, the eyelid gets super hard and irritated. So a lot of the time when I thought I had dry eyes and I kept putting drops in like crazy, I got away from that. I learned about how my eyelid could be causing it. I started treating that, and that made a huge difference. So if you're like me, and I'm not saying eye drops don't help, you know, there are some days still where I'm just like, man, my eyes are dry, you know, especially living in the city with pollution and stuff like that. Being on the subway and the really dry, cold AC air is just like shooting straight into my eyes. You know, sometimes I don't make enough tears, you know. I got a test done to make sure I made enough tears, and I was fine, you know, so that's not the problem. It's just, they feel dry sometimes. So when I do use eye drops, I still use, these are the best ones I've found, the TheraTears. These feel the best. They just feel like super lubricating. They don't feel oily, anything like that. They feel like they last longer than a lot of the other ones. Along with that, I mean, it doesn't really fix anything, it just feels good, you know? I try not to take vitamins. I try to eat my vitamins as much as possible because they seem to have a better effect that way. There's been some studies done to prove this too. Most of the vitamins and minerals that you need, they work the best when you get them through your food, not taking supplements. No matter how good a supplement says it is, it's not as good as eating it through your food, the natural way, you know? You can take, it's pretty important for fish oil or omega-3 acids. So I keep some supplements, but I try to eat it every day, you know? I try to eat healthy fats in my food, like salmon or avocado, nuts, like every day I try to have some serving, at least a good portion, with those healthy fats, so I don't have to take supplements. but if you do, they sell those. They even have the same brand that makes the drops, the TheraTears. They make, it's basically an eye health blend, and it's mostly omega-3 fish oil with some other stuff in it too. I think like some B vitamins and stuff like that. So in a pinch, if you're not eating healthy, maybe you're going a weekend bender, you're just drinking a lot, partying, you forget to eat healthy, you can pop some of those supplements, you know, might be able to make up for it. I can't tell for the most part if I feel an effect. I know I feel healthier and better in general when I do get a daily supply of, you know, healthy fats. And I'm sure it helps my eyes too. So the eyelids. They actually do make something to treat your eyelids. All the oil can get plugged up, right? And these pores. That's how you get a sty on your eyelid. It's a clogged pore. It's basically like a pimple on your eyelid. When they get clogged and they get hardened, you know, like I said, it's like a hard windshield wiper across your eye. So what you can do is use heat, damp heat, to loosen it up. They have a machine that I think eye doctors can buy, or maybe anybody can buy, but it's like $5,000 or something. It's got like metal plates and they put them over your eyelids and it heats them up. And it's supposed to last like 6 months or a year. So you don't have to get done a lot, but it's like $5 grand every time. It sounds kind of scary too, because you gotta leave it on there for a while. So what I do at the request of one of my doctors, the one who helped me the most, you just keep a clean washcloth, like don't use it for anything else. And every morning when you wake up, because that's usually when it's like most clogged, and you also have like eye crusties and whatever skin fell in there, just get like, you know, hot enough so it doesn't burn, but hot enough so it really feels good and soothing. And just boom, just get in there and really blot it, wipe it away. Oh, I do it every morning. It feels great. You can tell some days when you wake up when you really need it. You're like, man, I can't wait to do that, and it feels awesome. And afterwards, you don't feel itchy, you don't feel irritated. You're like, ah. Once I started doing that, I was like, I did not have to take the drops near as much as I used to. I was like, wow, I didn't really need the drops. That wasn't the problem. It was my eyelids, you know? You might have this problem, you might not. If you don't, good for you. But if you do, this might really help you. It might be a game changer for you. Still, once in a while, I still break this bad boy out. He's great. A cold eye mask, very soothing, feels awesome. So heat, cold, you know? Sometimes you just gotta experiment. Which one do I need today, you know? I don't use this very much anymore at all. I use this mostly, so before this whole quarantine thing happened that's going on right now, I don't know when you're gonna be watching this video, but right now we're still in the middle of this citywide quarantine shutdown. And before that, you know, I was training pretty much every day, Muay Thai fighter. And when I would spar, the thing that was really frustrating me when I was making that last video, I went back to sparring and everything was great. And I chose that PRK surgery because they told me it's the best one for contact sports, right? And when I went back to sparring, even sometimes the lightest jab with a big puffy glove on my eyes would feel like I scratched my cornea, and I'd be like, ah, like it's watering, my nose would be running. I'd have to take like 5-10 minutes off. Sometimes I'd have to just be done with class. And that gets very frustrating, you know? If you're a martial artist and you love sparring as much as I do, it can be heartbreaking sometimes, you know? The biggest thing that helped with that was the damp towel, the hot damp towel, keeping those eyelids as supple and healthy as possible. I'll even do it sometimes during the daytime. I'm a mechanic and it gets pretty dry and I get dust everywhere. I wear safety glasses a lot more at work. That helps a lot. I keep dust out of my eyes and allergens. And sometimes in the middle of the day, I'll just go to the water fountain. I'll get some nice warm water and I'll just, boom, like coat my eyes in, and it feels awesome. And then when I go to sparring or some other sport where I might get touched in the eye, say you do BJJ or wrestling or anything like that, then I'll put some of those TheraTear eye drops in just for some extra lubrication, you know? You want those windshield wipers nice and lubed up so nothing hurts. And still, you know, I'll get caught just right with the corner of a glove or something, and I'll be like, for like, you know, maybe like 30 seconds, but I can usually walk it off and get back in there and keep going, you know? So I've found a way to deal with that. I've learned it was mostly my eyelids. I don't know why that became a problem. I've asked a couple times with the doctor, why is this a problem now that I've had this eye surgery? Because I mean, my eyelids weren't changed. But they think that there's just a very long extended period of inflammation from the trauma of having the surgery in that whole area. Like everything is still on high alert, and hopefully it should still keep gradually getting better and better. I went 3 or 4 months ago and we tried tear duct plugs. I don't know if you've looked into that yet. That's why I did the test, to see if I made enough tears, and I made well over the minimum amount, so that was not the problem. I create enough tears, so they're like, maybe they're draining too fast, you know? So they put the collagen plugs in. It was kind of weird how they put them in. Like, they didn't even really have to open my eyes. I was worried about being able to keep my eyes open the whole time, because I'm horrible at that. I'm a big baby when it comes to touching my eyes. I'm like, you're gonna have to give me a Valium, you're gonna have to strap my eyes open. They're like, hey, okay. And then when I got there, none of those doctors were there. The main doctor who owns the place was there. He's a nice guy, but he was more intimidating because he wasn't like, oh, I'll drug you up and like all that stuff. He's like, let's get it over with. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay. And he just took me right into the surgery room and laid me down. Didn't even use the thing. Didn't even use the metal clamps. But it turns out you don't really have to open your eyes that wide to get in there. He can just pull the bottom eyelid down, and he can see. Especially if they use the surgery camera, they can see good enough, well enough in there to pop it in. One of mine went in real easy. I didn't even feel it. This side was pretty uncomfortable, you know, just for a second. And it took him like a million tries to get this one in. But once again, that's a problem with me. I have a whole bunch of problems on this side of my face. I've had sinus surgeries, septum surgery, all the clearances and openings on this side of my face are narrow. I don't know if it's from getting punched and stuff like that, because I have gotten cracked bones in here before, whatever. But it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as I imagined it. Afterwards, you totally can't feel it at all, and I don't even know if they're still in there. But so I put them in. For the next couple weeks, it did seem that my eyes were retaining moisture better than they were before. And then after that, I just kind of stopped thinking about it. So maybe they're still in there, maybe they're still helping. Who knows? I'm not having any major problems right now. And a month and a half ago, when I was still sparring, my eyes were not that bad, you know? They're still getting irritated, not as bad as before, so they were still gradually getting better too. Hopefully when we go back, we'll stay on the same path. The only other tip I have is same thing, moisture, humidity. If you don't have a humidifier, get a nice big strong humidifier. Put it next to your bed. Like I said, when you wake up in the morning, that's usually when your eyes are the driest. It sounds counterintuitive because you're like, my eyes were closed all night. Why would they be dry? But that's usually when you get the most crust, the most hardening, you know. You can feel it when you wake up in the morning. You're like, oh, like it's hard to keep your eyes open. Like, they just don't feel good, you know. And if you put a big humidifier in your room close enough to your bed where it's keeping you nice and moist, and the plus side is it helps fight against the flu and stuff like that, you know. A lot of viruses and bacteria, or at least a lot of viruses, they thrive on low humidity air, you know, dry air. That's why they're better in the winter. But you keep that humidity up, you know, above like 35%, above 40%, you know, your eyes will feel a lot better and you won't get sick as much. So I think that about covers it. I like to complain a lot, but there's still a lot of days where I'm just like, holy crap, like I don't wear glasses anymore. It's so easy to forget how you spent so many years dealing with glasses. and so fast to take it for granted that you're not wearing them anymore, you know? But I notice it the most like when I go to the beach or I go swimming or something, I can see underwater, I can see people at the beach. I don't have to put my glasses on, you know? I can wear shades at the beach. It's pretty awesome. So I hope this video gives you a little more hope if you're still looking to get eye surgery. If you still have concerns, you know, write them below. I'll try and answer them. You should be okay though. Subscribe and like below and get more content. I'll keep putting out stuff like this. Let me know how your recovery is doing. I'll see you when this quarantine is over.